Ultimately, it started as me going into these rural areas and villages trying to do concerts, but there was no electricity. So that kind of spilled off into understanding what the development of Africa would be and how important it is for the future of Africa. But ultimately, without electricity, you can't begin to build infrastructure. So to avoid a lot of the politics within the energy business in Africa, we decided to go solar, which we felt was the perfect solution for Africa's energy crisis, being that we're blessed with so much sun, and that's one of the main resources. And ultimately, for the rural areas, it would be a lot cheaper and quicker to create a solution, being that we wouldn't have to extend the grid from the city all the way out to the end of the villages. But we realized too at the same time that the educational system here for energy was very poor, and a lot of African citizens wasn't really educated to the energy crisis itself. So we decided to create more of an academy for all the solar, for every project in every country that we go into, we always hire the locals there to maintain, and we also hire them to do the installations. So we created an academy that would train all the locals there to be able to install and be able to maintain all the equipment as we develop and move forward for each country as it goes. So that's the whole idea of the Solar Academy. The craziest thing, but the truest, and I'm not just saying this because I'm in Morocco, but that probably was the wildest crowd I've ever been in front of. To this day, we always talk about that show. So we've been, like my whole band, everyone's excited about tonight. Like you have no idea. We was always saying, everywhere we go, we always compared it to Morocco, because you gotta understand, 9 years ago, that was like the beginning of my career from an artist performance standpoint. So to be in front of such a huge crowd and such a crazy crowd, it always wanted me, it motivated me to always want to be in such a crowd like that. The only place that came close to Morocco was probably Bahrain. You guys are like brothers and sisters, the crazy, wild crowd. But I think tonight's gonna probably be crazier. Okay, answering your first question for the Mawazine, well, when the organizers got a hold of me for it, I said yes before they even finished the offer. I didn't even ask for the price. Like, well, we're thinking about having you for the Mawa. Yes. The same Mawazine in Morocco? Yeah, yes. So it was already a yes. He was like, well, don't you want to know how much you want to get paid? I said, no, just book it. That's how quick it was. Like, I really, really wanted to do it. And actually, your second question is very interesting because, growing up in Senegal, I was born a Muslim. And depending on what part of Senegal you was coming from, music was considered, haram. And it's always been a debate in Islam with music, But me, ultimately, I never really looked at the physical aspect of music itself. I always looked at the intention of the music. Because even when you look at our daily prayers in Islam, when you sing, we pray in melody. So it's impossible for music to be, haram. We pray in melody. When you hear your local prayer for any part of the day, it's in melody. So no one can sit here and tell me that music is haram. But ultimately, that's my personal, that's me. Not speaking for everyone else, but that's my personal point of view. And it's a wide review when it comes to that. But I mean, any imam that you ask, they're all going to give you a different answer. Some going to say it's okay, some going to say it's not okay. So it's almost like you just have to follow your heart. And ultimately, if you decide to do music, just do the right thing by it. Because music allows, opportunities that normal people don't get. And I know when you look at the natural book and you look at any biblical book, you can read those lines, and that's why we are given free will. No matter what and how you translate it, it can be translated to be good or translated to be evil. And that's every line in the Quran, every line in the Bible, every line in the Torah. It doesn't matter. It's all about how it's translated to you and how you was brought up and so on and so forth. Because even when you look at the problems that's happening today, you have what's considered to be good Muslims and what's considered to be bad Muslims. But at the end of the day, we're not here to judge. No one knows what allows or puts people in positions to make decisions they make and why they're making them. So I would never be in a position where I would judge any man, and I don't expect them to judge me as well. But I think no matter what decision you decide to make, just do right by it. Because at the end of the day, Allah's watching. You can't hide, you can't move. There's nothing that you can do that's in the light that won't eventually come out in the dark. So I just look at it like just do the right thing. And then at the end of the day, you know, God knows your heart. So I think you'll be fine. Just do the right thing.